Kenyan Andy is here. Mr. Andy, this is our guy all the way from Kenya who was born in America. His name is really Andrew, but Andy, you have to tap on the bottom of the screen where it shows you the person and then a small box with another person in there. Tap that request so that I can bring you on. I just saw your comment, but unfortunately, it doesn't give me the option to bring you on. Let me scroll down and see if I can see you. I can only see bring on other people, but you should see the icon on the bottom. That's Kenyan Andy. He is here. He is here. Cece, our guy is here. But I know your real name is Andrew. And welcome indeed, right? So tap the request. Hello.
Oh, God.
How are you?
Hi, Camera.
Welcome,
I'm good.
Andrew. We can see you. We can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Welcome to the Simply Sweet Peach. We are happy to have you here. Thank you so much for joining. I'm sorry you probably just got home recently. I was trying to get yourself together, but I wanted to honor the time that you told me that was going to be your 3 p.m. Kenyan time.
All right. Yeah, I had to do that. I mean, I just had to set an alarm so I'd be here early.
Okay. Can you guys hear him okay? Let me know if you guys can hear Andy. We're going to call him Andy here because even though his name is Andrew, he goes by Kenyan Andy. And that's where you can find him on TikTok. And he's also on YouTube and on Facebook as well. So definitely give him some support. He's here to share some of his story with us. I'm going to ask you some questions as well. And I appreciate you so much. You look tired. Did you have a long day?
Yeah, we've been trying to move out to like some new place. You know, this is the place we've been staying in. It looks really weird, but yeah, we're trying to get a new place. It's really better than this one. And so we were trying to get some stuff arranged, but it didn't work well. But probably tomorrow we are going to be out of this place.
Okay, you're trying to move out. Yes, okay, well, I'm glad to hear that you guys are moving out. Let's get this started, Andy, so that you can get on with your day and get your stuff together as well. So tell us, Andy, how long have you been in Kenya?
That's been like 7
7
been
years?
a while. Yeah, man, the whole story that just came online is not like something that recently happened. It's something that happened some time back.
Wow, my God,
when I was
7
still
years.
when I was still a kid.
So what age were you when you were left there in Kenya?
What year it was, did you say?
No. How old were you?
15.
And how old are you now?
15. 22.
Oh my goodness. Wow. That now, geez, I think that was so many years that you have been there. So you have really adapted.
It's just that this story just came out, but it's not like it just happened.
Right. So what made you bring out or talk about your story now after so many years?
Okay, it wasn't part of my I wasn't really trying to talk about it. It was just I met this guy and then we were in the Dumpsite working. I really didn't think I'd get out there and try to talk to someone and they'd actually listen to me according to whatever we've been going through for that while.
Yeah.
And then we met this guy and he was like, I can really do like a story of you and we can try to see how far it goes online.
Right.
And then somehow, unexpectedly, it went viral.
Wow.
It was a small channel, like the smallest channel you could think about. Like, I can do a story with this guy and it blows up.
Yeah.
It just happened. People just loved it and they wanted to listen to it and they wanted more, and, you know.
Right. Wow. So I know that there's a lot of people here on this live this morning who have not really heard, what happened, how you ended up living in Kenya, being an American citizen, born in America, and now live in Kenya and work on a dump site, right? Is where you work on a dump site. So
yeah.
tell us briefly a little bit about your story of how you ended up being in Kenya.
So I didn't live with my actual parents back then.
Mm-hmm.
I was some foster parents that I was living with,
Yes.
and I had a really tough time getting in touch with other people, like getting other people to understand me for whatever I was.
Yes.
So we did have this good relationship at first, but then it's just broke down little by little, and it was getting worse.
Mm-hmm.
So the end of the day, we had so many arguments, and it just got worse.
Yeah.
So we had to come back here in Kenya. Like my foster dad had to come see his grandma. He
Mm-hmm.
was very like mildly sick, but yeah, like very sick, and he had to come over here to see her. And then we came over, and somehow, um, he just wouldn't tell me directly like, uh, we can't do whatever, we can't do anymore,
Yeah.
and yeah, he just did whatever he could do. I don't even know what he's thinking right now. He's probably thinking something really bad happened to me, and he's probably out of his mind because he's seeing me online and all that.
Right.
But yeah, he somehow left me around this whole place, and I had to handle life the hard way,
Yeah.
like as a kid.
Right. So I want you to tell, because there's people again that are here that haven't heard it yet. So tell them a little bit about, while you were in Kenya and when you were supposed to go back, so that some people understand exactly why you ended up in Kenya. Meaning being living in Kenya now.
Like how I remain
Meaning,
here.
yeah, like how did you ended up just being there in Kenya and not going back to the US?
So there was this time we were supposed to be going back there, like just as a family, like as we can. We're just supposed to be going back there, and then um, we had this
Yes,
arrangement, like
Mercy. Sorry.
we we had this whole arrangement, like get out of the home, whatever place we were, like their place, like their home place, and we had two vehicles. We were supposed to be traveling to the airport,
Mm-hmm.
just get there, like yeah, but then we were supposed to be going back. Somehow, where whatever vehicle they were using was full, and they really made it look like it was. And then there were this other bunch of people coming from the same place, going to the same airport, um, and they were like, "You gotta go to this other one because it's not full, and then we can catch up later. Like we can meet in the
That
same place
that was
whenever."
your foster parents. They were the
Yeah,
ones
exactly.
who. Mm,
You saw along the way, these people were not even going inside of the airport, but it was somewhere around the
mm,
place. So this driver just gets to this place, and then he's like, your dad said he's gonna get you from here, and all these other people are getting off. Everyone's just working on their business. This one is like, I gotta go this way, gotta go this way. So you were like, here, you gotta wait here. He's gonna get you from this point,
mm-hmm,
and then you have to wait there for a couple hours, and it didn't end well, man.
mm,
Yeah, I just felt like I was just gonna wait for myself
yeah.
or anything of the sort.
Wow. So, and these were your adopted parents. Did you ever know your biological parents when you were in America?
Um, uh, Whoever was there was just talking to me about them, but I don't really think when I was in my right, like whatever. I don't really know what they look like anyway.
Oh, wow, I'm
I
sorry.
guess I got glimpses of my mom, but not much of that.
Yeah. Okay.
Just yeah, when I was just so little, I just don't have much of her. I don't even remember what she would talk like or.
Yes. So, do you have contact or are you in contact with your adopted parents now since you've been there for 7 years?
Some siblings, not the parents. I mean, if I would talk to them right now,
Mm.
I
Don't
don't even know what.
don't pay
I don't even know
attention
what.
to
I don't
any
know
comment.
exactly what I'd tell them.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't really talk.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, but I had some friends, so they try to reach out.
Yeah.
We do talk sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. So the question is, do you feel like the adopted parents that they should have been held accountable for what they did, meaning leaving you behind, no documents, took your passport. Do you feel like they should have been held accountable for that, for what they did?
Um. Well, at first I'd just do the worst. Like, I'd possibly think about the worst things that could happen to everyone and everyone who was listening or looking for,
Yeah.
But that with time, I started thinking about myself and how much I've just gone through and how many years or days have passed by,
Mm-hmm.
and what was the worst that could happen to me, and then how much it didn't happen, and all the chances I took, how well it worked for me,
Yeah.
and then I was like, there are some things I just gotta let go for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
So
it
Andy,
just kind of
before
helped
I
me.
don't need to cut you off, but before we go further, I want to ask a question because somebody put a comment in there. These people that left you in Kenya, they were your adopted parents, right? Those are
Uh
the ones who
huh.
adopted you?
Yeah.
Okay. And the man, was he from Kenya as well?
Yeah, he was originally Kenyan.
Okay. But the lady wasn't originally Kenyan.
No.
Okay. All right. All right. So I know that you're telling me about the accountability and so forth, meaning you were just 15. If they left you behind, what was the intention? Like to have you just run wild or end up somewhere unalive or something like that? That's why I'm asking, do you think that they should have been held accountable for what they did? Because a lot of people are probably thinking that way, their names and so forth. So tell me a little
Yeah,
bit.
at that moment,
Yeah.
I'd probably think about it that way.
Mm-hmm.
But at this
Yeah.
point, I don't feel like it does matter. Like whatever happens to them, like
Yeah.
it's not gonna make so much of a difference. It
Mm-hmm.
would at that point, but yeah, I've just gone a long while after. Like it just feels like it's like way in the past.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've been through a lot more than that. Like I've had to like live a different life, and
Yeah. I
like
understand.
I never expected I would, but I just did.
Yeah. So are you happier in Kenya than when you were in America?
Um, you're talking about being comfortable around people and you're being free with whatever you're doing, wherever you
Yeah.
go. Like feeling like you can make friends and talk to more people without thinking about, are they gonna talk back? Or are they gonna think about whatever? Like, it's more comfortable that way over here.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. So if you see the taxi man, the one that dropped you off where he dropped you off that day, if you see his face, would you remember him?
Pretty much.
You would? Wow.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
definitely would.
Yeah. And I guess I'm going to ask another question as well. If anyone who interviewed you, whether it was a TV station or someone else, and they asked you to share your adopted parents' names, like their full names, would you do that?
The last one I just did try to do that in some insinuative way, but I didn't do that.
I understand.
They'd ask, hey, what? Yeah, they just ask questions that I felt this was too personal. Like you just wanted to put the story. This is what happened, not who made it happen or where they made it happen.
Yeah. So you pretty much accepted it, meaning that you don't, I mean, I understand where you're coming from because there's a God and they will get their pay or karma for whatever they did. I'm sure that they're probably having sleepless nights, after doing something like this to a 15-year-old. So,
Yeah, man, when they just saw me on, they're probably thinking, oh man, I don't know, but
they're they're probably watching you, is what you mean, right? They probably can see that you are,
yeah, they can relate to whatever, and
yeah.
yeah, they probably following the story, and they're like,
They're wondering if you're gonna put their names out there. That's what they probably want.
uh, Yeah, they were just probably waiting for this moment that this guy just pressed the
Mm.
blast thing off.
So when you were living in Minnesota, that's where you were born, right? Minnesota?
Uh-huh.
Okay. So what type of job did your adopted parents do while they were in Minnesota?
The dad was a teacher.
Wow. Teacher. Wow.
Yeah, used to do some teaching.
Wow. And what about the woman?
I guess secretary.
Pardon?
She was a secretary.
Secretary. Okay, okay.
Your
Wow.
secretary.
So if he was a teacher and she was a secretary, why did they have to end up moving from Minnesota?
I don't know how the whole okay. There was this point that it was said that their job was not gonna work anymore, and
Okay.
yeah, he was not gonna keep working there somehow.
Okay.
So we stayed in there for like 3 or something, and then 3 months, and then he's like, "We have to move there," so they'd find something else just to keep them moving,
Mm-hmm.
and they have like the bigger family there, so.
And that was there where? Where was that?
Where was what?
Where did they end up moving to?
Oh, Carly.
California?
Yep.
Okay. So when you guys moved to California, did they end up finding work quickly after that or not so much?
Well, they did.
Okay.
They did still go to work. Like
Okay.
Dad kept working. He didn't take long to find something else.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. We're going to read some comments pretty soon, but I want to ask this question as well, because I know that some people had that question and I see it around as well. Why didn't you go to the American Embassy in Kenya? Sorry.
Okay. I'm working on that. I'm gonna get my whole passport thing. But whatever I said I wouldn't just do is like just wake up and just leave. I'm gonna have to stick around for a while. I'm gonna get the whole documentation thing and
Okay. But once
yeah,
you,
but I'm not gonna go back there at the moment. That's it.
okay. So even if you got your passport today or next week or whenever, you wouldn't just leave and go back to the US right away. Don't worry about the comments, Matthew. Love and likes, guys. Love and likes, please. Love and likes.
Did I get disconnected?
No,
Can you hear me?
I can still hear you. Yes, yes. Keep the love and likes going, guys. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. So even if you got your passport, let's say next week or a month from now, you wouldn't go back to the US to live?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like, we've been trying to build some things here with John, and some
Yeah.
of which we're hopping on would really, really work conveniently for us to get, like, if they would work, then I'd have achieved something really big.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
and I
let me,
own it, like, that would be like, I just came a long way, and yeah, I did this, and it
you're
worked.
and I see all the things that you and John are doing, with your rap, your music, and you guys are doing some other stuff as well, which is pretty amazing. So I understand where you're coming from because you want to continue that. Now, if someone signed you, they saw you, they listened to your rap, like maybe Jay-Z, Kanye West, or one of them, and they wanted to
Uh,
sign you, but you got to come back to America or another country.
that would be okay. That would be something different. I mean, if it would happen in that direction,
Yeah.
I might have to take it.
Absolutely, because I'm sure that they would bring John along as well. So,
Yeah, I mean, yeah, if it would have to happen in that direction,
yeah,
I will take it.
and chances are that if someone like that sign you, they're gonna put you up. It's not like you would have to come back to America and not know where you're gonna live, where your next bread is gonna come from. So it wouldn't be like you have to go back and depend on your adoptive parents.
Ah, yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
But if something like that comes up, I'm in. I'm just
Yeah. Absolutely. All right. So let's see here what our audience has to answer some of their questions so that they don't feel left out as well. Vanessa Lewis, I understand, darling. We talked about it a few days ago, and I'm so happy that Kenyan Andy is on here. His real name is Andrew. Let's see here. I'm going down. So Mercy K is asking, can you ask him where he lived while in Minnesota? What city did he live in? And
in Minnesota.
yes, she wants to know what city did you live in when you live in Minnesota?
Alberta.
Pardon?
Alberta.
Alberta?
Alberta. Alberta. That's I don't know.
Alberta. All right. Okay, Mercy, I hope you heard that. Let's see here. Amen to that indeed. Abdul said that you're a forgiving young man. And I kind of understand a little bit of why you're so forgiving, because you feel like maybe things are going a little bit in a different direction for you now. You got John, sorry.
Uh
Okay,
yeah, I had a flu for it.
sorry about. So Mercy K was asking, would you like to reclaim your American citizenship? I think he answered that. He said
I'm gonna do
you're
that.
gonna do that. Yeah, definitely. Because you want to have the option, of
Uh-huh.
going back,
Uh-huh.
coming back.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm,
sure.
mm-hmm. Okay, let me go down with the question. So much for coming back. When he was adopted, let him tell us that as well. I think I said that on a video when we spoke about his story, but let's confirm that with him when he comes back. It's saying add in. Andy, let's keep our fingers crossed, guys, that it connects him again. There we go. Welcome back.
Hi, thank you.
Thank you so much for coming back. So, one person wants to know, how old were you when you were adopted?
Around 4, and then we talked to 7. So it was at 7 when I got out of the whole thing.
Okay, you were 7 when you got out of it, meaning when you started living with them?
Yeah.
Okay, so the next question is, have you been going to school, like after they left you in Kenya at the age of 15, did you go to school at any time in that period there after the fact?
I had to do some documentation for that.
So you had to do documentation to go to school, or you mean you
Yeah,
did
so
some
I had to like uh go get another certificate just to be able to go to school, like just complete my high school.
but did you do that? Like, did you get that
Yeah, it
certificate?
worked. I had someone we had someone who was could do that for us because he was working with the government offices, and yeah, he did that.
Oh, great. So you do have a certificate there in Kenya that shows that
Yeah,
you.
yeah, like a high school one.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Congratulations on that. But you didn't have to, did you have to actually go to a school and spend time there every day, or you didn't have to go through that process?
Staying in school every day, did you say
Yeah,
that?
yeah, like in order to obtain that, did you have to actually
Yeah,
physically go to a
I
school?
actually had to attend the classes for like a whole year. I did sit down, get some
Okay.
uniform,
Oh,
be there
wow.
for.
That's nice. That's awesome. At least you pursue that, even under your circumstances.